Hello, this is Walt Smith on BlueMoonRisingTV, back for another week of Walter's Glass Half Full. Now, most City fans, your glass will be, well, overflowing, but there's still some silly comments to get stuck into this week. Without further ado, let's get looking. Zodiac, the Chelsea fan. Is it worth us playing you guys? We already know Chelsea have won. I'm going for a 5-2 win. How did that one work out for you, pal? I feel there was so much to take away from this game. The fast, counter-attacking football. The fact that we played in Europe earlier this week. More of that later. An Aguero hat-trick. Kevin De Bruyne looking absolutely world-class. Chelsea fans must feel an absolute kick up the backside every time they see Kevin De Bruyne pulling on a beautiful blue Manchester City shirt. Mangala, well, he's looking like the player that we'd always hoped he'd be. Diego Costa must be having nightmares about that man. Chelsea fans streaming out of every exit with their long, sad chops. That's now twice this season we've absolutely walloped Chelsea and sent them home with their tail between their legs. No wonder they actually celebrated so long and so hard after beating our kids in the FA Cup. Well, it's the only thing they've had to cling on to. As hard as I tried, I couldn't hear one step beyond. Any talk of these players actually not playing for Pellegrini now, well, it could be thrown right out the window. City also had a couple of one-on-ones with their keeper. As bad as that result was for Chelsea, it could have been a lot worse. Chelsea, you've become that used to winning games down the years. Terry, Costa, Roman, the player formerly known as Hazard, your boys took one hell of a beating. Brad Wright. 4-0 PSG. City don't stand a chance. Well, my Man U supporting troll, your prediction was probably about as accurate as some cult set leader who predicted the world would end in 2008. Very wrong. This is the year that Manchester City have finally grown up in Europe. Not that you get any of that kind of reaction from Rio Ferdinand and sour-faced Scholes. You'd have thought by listening to their reaction that the English team had got well and truly hammered. Folks, we're through to the semi-final of the world's most elite footballing competition. I remember people still go on about when England last qualified for their semi-final. It's happy times. And these sour-faced pundits are actually getting paid to give us an insightful breakdown, analytically, of the game. Where was the match won and lost? What did City get tactically right on the night? Which key battles did City win on the pitch? There was no waxing lyrical about the high-energy pressing game adopted by City that evening. No praising of who I believe is the best player in the Premiership at the moment, Kevin De Bruyne, absolutely ripping Paris a new one. I had to wait for Roy Keane on ITV. Yes, that Roy Keane, before I got any sense that City had dumped a major player out of Europe on a brilliant night. This was a major footballing statement by Manchester City, and they knocked Paris Saint-Germain right out of the park. BT, it is possible that they can appoint the right pundits for an evening's football. I saw it on Thursday when they played Liverpool. Getting Scholes and Ferdinand to actually comment on City is almost like getting Donald Trump to judge a Mexican beauty contest. Can you imagine BT actually getting a panel of Goethe, Sinclair, Summerby for a famous Manchester City night? Well, neither can I. Come on, BT, get some proper blues on there for what could be the biggest night in Manchester City's European history. I know I'm free. Get in touch. Adam Six has got something quite sad to say, and he's wrote it to Blue Moon Rising TV. There's been something wrong with Aguero for months. 13 goals in 12 Premiership games. Not wrong there, pal. Aguero is the best striker in the Premier for me, and that's a Rafa fact. If I was told that we were swapping Aguero with any other striker in the Premier League, I'd be absolutely gutted, and it'd be a downgrade. If you look at the evidence, Aguero is the most prolific goal scorer in the Premiership ever. He's got a goal every 108 minutes, and that's even before this weekend's hat-trick is taken into consideration. The next best is, well, Thierry Henry with a goal every 121.8. Aguero is consistent. He's even the most prolific goal scorer, well, this season. Not that you'd notice, according to the papers. Aguero has scored 21 goals in 26 games. Jamie Vardy, 22 goals in 34 games. Harry Kane, 22, well, in 33 games. That equates to Sergio a goal every 97 minutes. It equates to Vardy a goal every 133 minutes and Kane 135. I know who's most prolific in my book. If Aguero actually finishes the top goal scorer in the Premier, well, it's not a fluke. He's been the best all along, in my opinion. Walter, I hear you ask. Well, if he gets a golden boot, surely he must finish in the Premiership Team of the Year. No. Aguero, despite being the most prolific goalscorer in Premiership history, has never, I repeat, never been voted in the PFA Team of the Year. Players who've actually beat him to this title were Daniel Sturridge, Diego Costa, Harry Kane, Mr. Potato Head, Wayne Rooney, and Robin Van Persie twice. Well, despite Aguero not actually getting the national plaudits, I have to say, you got a special place in our collective Manchester City hearts. We just love you, Aguero! So that about sums up another week of Walter's Glass Half Full. And I have to say, Blues, it's a great time to be alive and a great time to be a Blue at the moment. But if you feel the need to write any comments with a bit of negativity, get tapping below. What are you waiting for? Oh, time for another.